I miss theatre. I know for a fact that I'm not the only one sat at home missing live performing, watching live performances, being involved with live performances, and I know I've banged on about it a lot, but I'm not sorry. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video where I will be discussing with you some things that I miss about theatre. For those of you that don't know, I am a trained professional in musical theatre. I studied for 4 years professionally in total, and before all this started happening, all of the lockdowns and everything, I was in the industry auditioning in a band as well where I performed live, so I'm really missing that. This video will be posted on Wednesday the 7th of October, where a lot of people in the industry will be posting something at 7:30 either on Instagram or Facebook or any social media site. We will be sharing something of our art, so that is their dancers, singers, actors, musicians, artists, writers, any sort of entertainment field. We'll be joining together, posting something of our art, of our talent, to raise awareness because of everything that's happening, #low-skilled-not. Not gonna get into it too much, but anyway. If you're watching this as soon as this is posted, then there's a few hours before 7:30, but if you're watching this after, I hope you enjoyed watching everyone's little clips, little photos, and that it raised awareness. So on the topic of theatre, I thought I'd share with you some things that I really miss about going to the theatre and witnessing live performing. When I started writing this out, I really felt like I was about to, go into 10 things I hate about you. But I'm not. I will stick to 10 things, but not about hate. Do write down in the comments below what you are missing about theatre. You may have been someone who went to the theatre a lot, or maybe just once a year. Whatever you are, do share something down in the comments and I'll be sure to chat along with you. Before I share with you what I am missing, if you are new here, I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer. I'm a musical theatre performer. I love food, I have a cat and dog, and please subscribe. A lot of these things I mention will be very generalised and a very common thing that people miss about theatre, but some of them are very personal to me, or what I think very few people, but maybe it can be quite common. This is a place that we can discuss and see if other people feel the same, but some of these are very much special to me. Let's go! So I have tried to write this out in chronological order so we can follow the pattern as if you are going to go and watch some theatre, so hopefully that comes across. If not, they're just all random. First thing that I miss about theatre is deciding what to watch and the buzz around it, however long that may be. If you have booked those tickets and you've got a year to wait, a few months to wait, or literally a few hours because you've decided to go on a spontaneous theatre trip, there's always just a buzz about choosing what musical you're going to watch, finalising on that musical, and then just being immersed by everything about that musical and just getting so excited by it. You go from finalising that musical, going and buying those tickets and talking about it with whoever you're going with, and then maybe, depending on how long between A and B we have, there's a bit of quietness, but then a month before the show, it's just, you just want to know everything about it and just prepare yourself for where you're going because it's just the best feeling ever. Side note, I may get quite emotional in this video because I just can't believe it's been so long since I've seen live theatre. The second thing I miss about theatre is the walk to the actual theatre, the building. Be that in London, be that in Cambridge, in like a touring company, so Manchester, or whatever, wherever you are, the walk to the theatre, you turn around the corner and there are the lights and the poster of the musical that you're going to see. I keep saying musical because that tends to be what I normally go and watch, but obviously any theatre, you just see the lights, you see the theatre, the building, and just the people lining up, the lights and everything, and the railings are out to tell you which way to go, and there's book your tickets, box office, go to the stalls, and you're like, ah. Last December I went to go and watch Dear Evan Hansen with a good friend of mine, and I can just vividly remember turning around the corner from Leicester Square Theatre. We were going to Noel Coward Theatre because that's where Dear Evan Hansen was showing, and you just turn around and then there are the lights, the blue, and it's just like, I'm here. I'm ready to be involved with whatever I'm going to watch today. Bring tissues because Dear Evan Hansen. But yeah, it just fills my heart with love. The third thing I miss about going to the theatre, I had to say that so many times because number 3 is stepping into the theatre. There's obviously, you've got to the theatre, you've seen the lights, but the next stage is actually taking a step into the theatre. The more you go, you would think, oh, it's just a building, I'm just stepping in, it's all fine. No. The next time I actually step into a theatre, I feel like I'm just gonna full on cry. You are in the building where magic is going to happen. Yes, magic. You take in all the walls, all the stairs, the red carpets, not those red carpets, but some theatres have actual, red carpets, but like the lights, the ceilings, and everyone, handing out the programmes. You're like, oh, get my money out, get the programmes, and it's just, you can just take everything away from that day. If you've had a bad day or whatever, you can leave the outside. You're gonna have a few hours of just, depending on what show you're going to see, but a few hours of just focusing on something else. The fourth thing is, after you've made your way to your seat and you've sat down, you've taken your coats off, you're getting yourself all comfortable, and you just take in the noise. I know it's very weird, but you just take in everyone's little chit-chats. Obviously, I'm not telling you to nose into the people behind you, their conversation, but just everyone's excitement around it, and just everyone talking about it, and just listening to everything, everyone's excitement, and you're just like checking your watch, you're like, you've got 2 minutes. I didn't realise this video was going to be so soppy, but this is it. Number 5, I had to pop this in because I just love seeing this, is the conductor popping his head from the pit, just, in his little space, just checking around. Sometimes they'll do a little like, otherwise it's just a hup, and you can see the top of their heads, just like, we're ready. And as soon as you see that head pop up, you're like, it's time, it's almost time. Number 6, and I think a lot of people can agree, is obviously hearing the music for the first time. Just, the lights come down, I've got company in my head now, but the music comes on and you hear those first few notes, and then comes the opening number, whatever it may be, and you're just fixated. That is the point where I will probably cry, because I'm like, this is so good. If you're going to the theatre and you don't feel anything in that first number, then you have to go some more. I'm not going to tell you to stop and be like, oh, you're not a theatre person. Theatre's for everyone. You just need to go some more. But you see all the costumes, you see the characters, obviously not all of them at once, because depending on what show, depends on what opening number it is and how much we get to know so far. But you see everyone's faces, everyone's, again, depending on the show, smiling faces, but you see everyone's, like, just working so hard, and you just see them having such a good time. Okay, in number 7 we have something that I'm sure a lot of people that are wanting to be in this industry, a lot of people that are in the industry probably do this. I'm hoping. I mean, if they don't, I'm fine to be the only person that does this, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. In the interval, depending where I am sat, obviously if I'm sat in the stalls, it gives me more of a chance to do this, but I like to walk down I like to walk down to the front of the stage, obviously not on the stage, but yeah, right on the edge, and just turn around and look at the audience. Obviously everyone's up in their seats. This is not during the performance, this is in the interval. Everyone's up, like, getting their ice creams or programs or whatever, chatting, and I just like looking up. When I went to go and watch Wicked the second time, I think that's when we sat in the stalls, that may have been the first time I did this, and then ever since, if I can, I would like to go and just see what it feels like. But yeah, definitely Wicked. I walked to the front, turned around, and I was like, oh. I have to have a little moment. Okay. That's something so important to me. Like, there are in different stages of different parts of the show, I will have a realisation of, I want to be on that side. Like, no, that, like, I just want to turn around, take it all in, and just see, okay, yes. I don't like talking about this, especially when it's so publicly out there, because I don't want to jinx anything, or I don't want to come across like, I don't know, you just don't know what people think. I know I can just talk about whatever anyway. But that's something very, very special to me. So I'm glad to share it with you all. If you ever come to the theatre with me and we are sat in the stalls and you see me do that, that is why. In number 8 we have something very obvious as to why we go to the theatre, but it is to see live performance. Nothing compares to the feeling you get when you watch live performance. Like, just knowing that at that moment you are sharing it with whoever's in that room are watching this version of whatever you're watching, and then tomorrow it'll be a completely different play because the energy's a bit different, other things have happened, you know, the actors feel different versions of how they should say something or how they should act, obviously not changing the whole plot, but you know, just the energy is different. So for that moment you are watching something very unique and it's live. You get to witness everything. I've got to say, these people on stage are skilled. They have skills. Number 9, be this a kind of like sad moment as well, but I miss that feeling of once that show has finished and you're like so full. You're like so full? You feel full. Not full with food, but full heart. You can then go and talk about it with other people who have watched it, you can post about it, you can just share your excitement with other people and get other people involved, and you feel like you've just witnessed magic. I know I keep probably all these points are the same thing, but I miss theatre, can you tell? The end of the show I'm probably crying a little bit more, you want to go to the stage door to go and meet with the actors, you know, get the little signatures, have a little chat with them, and it's just, you kind of, that like fantasy world that you've just kind of seen on stage is, then you get to see the actors for who they are and it's quite like real and possible. So that's what I'm going to say. And number 10 is being able to listen to the soundtrack in a different sort of light. You obviously, depending on what kind of person you are, if you want to listen to the soundtrack before, have listened to the soundtrack before of the musical. Again, this is very typical to musicals, maybe not plays or anything else. But once you come back from the theatre and you listen to the soundtrack, you can then visualise things more because you have seen it live and you can listen to it, and this is very, again, me, but you can then start acting things out in your room. Everything just comes alive and you've got that visual element for life because you have witnessed it, and that's something that can't be taken away. I wanted to add this last little thing because, again, a lot of people do this. I know you do, so you come on, just say you do it too. Is open up your programme and search everyone online. Give them a little follow on social media. They love it. Give them a little tag. They might retweet. Who knows? The amount of people that I go and flick through on my followers, I'm like, who's the? Oh, I remember them. Or also, what I like doing. Oh, I've thought of loads of things. I like going and looking at other programs that I have and seeing that actually I've seen this person somewhere else. I'm like, oh, I've actually seen 3 pieces of theatre that they were in, like 3 performances that they were in. Like, am I a fan? We have come to the end of what I miss about theatre. I'm sure there are a lot more things that I miss about the theatre. If we were talking about the whole experience, I miss the meal beforehand. Obviously, food is going to be involved. But in all honesty, theatre is a huge part of my life, and it's been a very long time that I've been without it. Trying my best to work without it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the day that it's a lot more accessible. Thank you for listening to all of my 10 things I miss about theatre. If you've got some things that you miss about theatre, like I said earlier, do drop them down in the comments below and we can talk about this. Do go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button if you liked this video. That is all from me. Hopefully my tea has cooled down. I wanted to be sipping it throughout this video, but it had other plans. See you all soon for another video. Ciao! The third thing about